Hany Rambod. He's back with like multiple champions.
He deserved my respect.
Hany lost last year, but he became Olympia champion 2 years ago.
They judge who's on this stage.
He's from Iran, which is, a country that's US is not friendly with.
It's gonna be tough.
So George, I want to ask you about Hany Rambod. Hany has been having a great couple of years in the sport. After Phil Heath, he's back with like multiple champions, right? He has Chris Bumstead now. He has, of course, Derek Lunsford and Hadi Choopan, right? Unbelievable career that he's having. What do you think of Hany Rambod, and do you think you've been in competition with him as a coach versus coach?
I don't want to. First of all, I have great respect for Hany. Hany is a great guy. Me and him, we just took a picture together, at the Pittsburgh Pro. But you know what? You need to remember something. I think there is a lot of luck plays. You know what I'm saying? With this industry, or with anything in life. You just mentioned, Chris. Chris Bumstead. He just won without Hany 3 different Olympia.
Yeah, for sure.
So you know what I'm saying? So he came.
Sure.
Phil practically won the Junior USA, and he was the next big thing, and everybody loved him on his own before he even worked with Hany. Hadi Choopan, let me tell you something. Hadi Choopan, the only guy that beat Hadi Choopan when he was an amateur is one of my guys in Dubai. You know what I mean? So Hadi was always shredded and stuff. Now, you can't discredit Hany, but at the same thing, like I said, he's very smart. He chose the people that he see like, wow, this guy, like for example, Derek already won the Olympia, 212 2 times, before working with Hany. You know what I'm saying? And I always talk to Derek about like being in the open before even he worked with Hany, and he'll tell you. And you know what I like about Derek? It's another thing. You need to recognize the people, man. Like when I did my documentary, Derek sent me, a message telling me, hey man, congratulations. I really wanted to make it, but my baby was this. I said, So I replied to him. I said, listen, Derek, man, I used to love you. And not because you're Mr. Olympia. Now, don't get me wrong. I told him that's an amazing thing, to be Mr. Olympia. I said, but now I even love you more. And it's so funny. We were sitting at dinner at Pittsburgh this past weekend, and I told him in front of everybody, I said, this man, he deserved my respect because he reached out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Some people, I'm Mr. Olympia. Who the hell is George Farah? But no, this is what I like, man. I like humble people. And I think that's why me and Hany at the few years back or whatever, because he came telling me, hey, you like the condition, and you want me to teach you or something. He said something, and that's why I snapped in front of people. I'm like, you're gonna teach me about all that? I said, but you're comparing somebody who's 30 years old to 50 years old, Dexter, because he beat Dexter, like Hany. I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? I'm like, but at the same time, I went and apologized, another time. And I said, listen, man, because I don't have a bad bone in my body, bro. I love everybody. And you got to give credit where the credit due. Hany is an amazing, coach right now. You can say whatever you want. Like I said, he played his card right. He chose the right people. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's like me right now choosing somebody who took first or second, another, and he wants to move it. Hey, you know what? He's there already. So God bless him. Like I said, God bless him. But I like challenge. I like people that nobody knows who they are. I'll give you an example. What's his name? Andrew Jack. Who knew Andrew Jack before last year? Nobody knew who's Andrew Jack. Guess what? I took him, made him pro. From pro, I made him win Dallas. From Dallas, I made him win the Arnold, England. And from Arnold, England, he went literally to the Olympia. You guys, a lot of people don't know. And if you ever have Andrew Jack, ask him. Everybody's like, oh, man, he could have done better than 8. Listen to me. He had fever. This guy had 102, 103 fever going on the stage. Me and my wife trying to give him which medication I got to give him. I can't give him anything to lose water and stuff. because to me his health is more important than, you know what I'm saying. But this is what I'm trying to tell you is like I like challenge, man. I like people like when Dexter, where everybody thought he was done, I brought him and I made him win another 13-14 show. When anybody said Branch Warner will never be in the top 5 at the Olympia, I made him take second. Arguably he could have won it. I mean, so this is how I like. When they say Kai's done, I show everybody like, hey, Kai's not done. Like right now, Bilal, Ali, they said those not, I bring, last year when they were talking about what's his name, Blessing couldn't win the show, 2 shows he couldn't. I took him 1-2 shows, the same show he couldn't play. So I like challenge. I'm different, man. It's not about how many trophy I get, what I got. Remember, I have the first Mr. Olympia men's physique, Mark Anthony. I have Dana Lynn Bailey, the first, so I have done a lot with the sport. I have, over 30 Arnold Classic win, so it's not about winning. It's about, man, I love the challenge. And again, I'm going to say it so people don't twist it. I have great respect for Hany, but Hany plays his cards right. That's all.
Okay. Besides yourself, who's one coach in the game that you respect the most? Besides yourself, of course. What name stands out to you?
I respect them all. I will never disrespect anybody. I love everybody. I have a lot of respect for everybody. But the one that really like me and him close, and I like talking to him, all the time. Mind you, we had a lot of problems in the past, but that's what brothers do in the family. It's Chris Aceto. Me and Chris, we're always.
Oh man, remember that old video of you and him? Was that you and him arguing, right?
Yes.
Oh, that was a good video, man. That was funny.
But remember, the reason why I'm arguing with him, you need to remember this, because my guy just won the show.
Right.
My guy just won the show. And that was Ramy in Brazil. And he's telling me, oh, when you going to get Ramy in shape? He was fat. Wait a minute. If my guy was fat and he beat your guy, so what that make your guy? And this is where the arguments start. You know what I'm saying? I said, bro, how can you say this to me instead of come and say congratulations? So don't talk about my guys. You can talk about me as much as you want, but I feel like they're my family, man. They're like my kids when I help somebody. You know what I mean? I want to protect them with everything. And that's why. But me, Chris, he really, he's a good man, because he hugged me, he apologized, he said, George, you're right. It's not worth it. That was nasty. That I shouldn't have done that. I said, Chris, I love you. It's behind us, and we still talk to each other.
That's good, man. That's good. It's good that you guys came full circle, man.
Oh yeah, listen to me. Like I said, man, you need to remember, you're talking to somebody who's been dead twice. When I got shot, coma, the whole 9 yards, and then fast forward, I got that cancer, dude, deadly cancer. They give me no chance, 13%, whatever. So to be alive, I don't have a place for negativity. I love everybody. But when you ask me the question, I gotta be real. I'm not gonna hide it. Now, that's why I have so many people that either they love me so much, or some people, they just don't want to talk to me because it's their way or no way. And that's not how you're supposed to be. We should have always an open conversation. You know what I'm saying? Of course.
I want to ask you about, now obviously Hany lost last year, but he became Olympia champion 2 years ago, right? Do you think in many ways him winning the Olympia, you know how in bodybuilding people say there's politics, right? The favorites, there's behind the scenes stuff. Do you think him winning, do you think Hany winning the Olympia in many ways puts the end to that? For 3 reasons. A is because he's from Iran, which is, a country that's US is not friendly with. He doesn't speak English, so people can't say he's a good representative, like, a proper Olympia representative. So do you think him winning this title kind of puts the end to the politics in bodybuilding in IBB?
Listen, let me, this is great that you said that. And I'm glad you said it, because a lot of people talk, I'm going to give you just great example. My a client, Ali Bilal, he really sent me a text. He said, Coach, I want to ask you a question. Should I compete in Belgium's name, or I should put, that I'm from Afghanistan, because I'm worried? So I replied to him. I said, listen to me, okay? Let me explain something to you. If anybody know the Manians is me. I said, they don't give a rat behind who you are, where you're from, wherever. They judge who's on the stage. You know, a lot of people, you need to remember, a lot of people, they want to talk politics and this and that. Nonsense. If it's politics, why Rami is an Arab guy, won twice? Why Hadi won it once? He's from Iran. Like you said, you couldn't speak English. So if you win it one, you could win it again. And mind you, he was competing against, Derek. Derek was like the white boy, all-American, this, and he beat him. So what that tell you about Tyler Manion and Jim Manion? They don't care. They don't care. Whoever on the stage, that's what they judge. And that's why I love about these guys. You know what I'm saying? Dude, if it wasn't for them, believe me, that sport would have been dead. That's why I don't help people, in the other, like the pro elite bowl, whatever. You know why? Because I was helping a guy one time, and all of a sudden he called me 2 months later. He have his pro card. I'm like, how? You didn't win. So I don't know. Don't ask me how, but he got his pro card. This will never happen with Mr. Manion. Never, ever. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I love it, man. I love what the Manion are standing for. I love what they're doing to us. So I don't think, again, back to your question, if Hadi comes in looking like the way he looked at the Arnold, you know what I'm saying? Listen to me. I have no doubt in my mind he could win the Olympia, except if Derek improves. And I see Derek is improving. So it's going to be tough. But who would, we don't know. Samson might finally put it together and be shredded. Andrew Jack might be shredded. These guys are dangerous when somebody is 6'2", 6'3", next to a shorter guy, and he have the same condition or better. So we don't know, and that's what I like about the man. That's what I like about Tyler. People think because he's only 30 years of age, he's a dude. This guy, I remember him saying on my freaking lap, he was a little kid when I first started going around the Manion. He's 30 years old, but he grew up in the sport, so he have the eye. He have. I'm telling you, I just sent him a text the other day. I told him, I'm so proud of you for the great leader that you are, because he's doing an amazing job. And I don't care what anybody said about politics, this politics. They want to see politics, go see politics in every sport, because everybody, what they do, they take a magazine and show it to their friend on their mom and say, hey, oh, honey, you better than Arnold. You better. Well, of course, that's your mother and your friend. When your friend and mother, they're real with you. Like that's why, again, some of the clients, they used to leave me. So I used to tell them, what do you think, man? They screwed me. I'm like, no, bro. Nobody screwed you. You remember 4 weeks ago, you were eating French fries and burger? That's why. So don't blame it on judges and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think we have such a great judging, panels right now, and they're doing amazing job. Amazing.
Let's talk about last year's Olympia really, really quickly. I just want to get your take on it. So Hadi lost. And after the prejudging, you, including you and many others on social media, said that, hey, he's winning that one. He won the prejudging. Like, that was an opinion.
Listen to me. I the way I saw it at prejudging, I thought Hadi, and the reason why, because Hadi was the prior champ, and he have just enough, like certain parts, I thought, but man, the next day I'm like, oh my God, I can't, because I'm sitting there. Remember when I saw Derek, because Derek came on Saturday and he have the chefs lined up, and he didn't have that on Friday. He came fuller, and I'm like, man, now it's really tough to choose. Yeah, I was the first, because to me is you gotta knock the Mr. Olympia down, and he really didn't knock him. They were very close. Even like I said, Derek was probably a little better in certain things, but I'm like, Hadi's still better, in some shots. But then the next day, it's total different ball game. And that's what happened when it's 50-50. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So you agree with the final results?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. So let's talk about Nick Walker. Do you think realistically he will win the Olympia within a short period of time?
Listen to me. You need to remember something, man. If you would have asked anybody, Brandon Curry, you think Brandon Curry will ever win Mr. Olympia? Everybody would have said no, except me. When I talked to Brandon, I said, dude, you can win the Mr. Olympia. He looked at me, he goes, me? I said, yes, Brandon. And he still remember it till today, because I'm looking at him I don't know what show. Before we start working together, I'm like, man, the kid's not missing anything. Just little maybe, sweep and stuff. And sure enough, he became Mr. Olympia. So you can't doubt anybody. I mean, remember, Ronnie Coleman was freaking the first Olympia. He was a nobody, and all of a sudden he just dominated. So you never know, Now, if I want to pick, Nick apart, he still needs some, more sweep. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I was a little surprised this past weekend because he guest posed, and I'm like, oh my God, for 1 week out, I would like to see him a little bit a little bit harder. But I'm sure they have the magic, and they can put it together. So, you never know. Nothing's impossible. I can't doubt anybody because Nick looked freaky, and they love the freak. So it's just on that day who's the best. You know what I'm saying? And so far, the one I like right now the most, I like Hady and certain spot, the condition and stuff. But Derek is so well put together too. So you never know. And you got, like I said, you got Samson. You got so many guys. Listen, Hunter Labrada, with the new size he had, if he can really trim it down, Hunter could be Mr. Olympia. So I love it because people always, they tell me, oh man, in the 90s or whatever, it was much better. Listen, we don't know because they weren't standing next to each other. So you have to give credit for all these guys, man. That's what we're watching today. I'm not going to go, oh, my era was so much better than your era, like a lot of guys do. I don't like that because we don't know how it is until you put them together. You know what I'm trying to say? So we don't know.
Big Ramy, do you think you should continue?
People will get sick of it.
Are you telling him to slow down?
That's how it's supposed to be.
Competitive bodybuilding on a pro level is an extreme sport, right?
Both.